Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with second chapter, that is principles of management. In the previous chapter we have learned about what is management, what are the objectives of management and what are the functions of management. In this chapter we are going to learn about the guidelines which are being required and which are being helpful for the managers to achieve the organizational goal. So now let us start with chapter number 2, that is principles of management. Now, principles of management. In the previous chapter, we have learned about what is management and what are the functions of management. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the principles which are being required for achieving the organization goals and which is being required by the manager so that they are able to achieve those particular goals. So, what is management principles? Management principles are generally being the statement of fundamental truths. Now, what do you mean? What do you understand by fundamental truths? Fundamental truths are generally being which are come after certain experimentation or the practice through which we are able to find out that this particular principle can be required for doing this particular type of work. But they are being different as being there in the scientific principles. They are generally being the guidelines. Guidelines means they just make you stand in front of the door, which is the correct door you have to move. How you are going to walk inside that particular door, that will comes through your own knowledge, through your own experience. So generally these management principles are the actions for the managers so that they are able to achieve the goals by those particular guidelines which are being required of. For example, we can say that in mathematics, when there are tricky questions, we used to get a hint. That hint help us to move how to solve that particular question. It gives you that particular guideline. In the same way, management principles also gives you the guidelines just to solve that particular question. How you're going to do it, it just being come through your knowledge, your practice. Now next topic is management principles and values. Now what is the difference between the principles and the values? Now values, if we can tell us with an example. For example, you are traveling in a bus and you see a particular elderly person standing. So you ask that particular person to sit on your seat on behalf of you. So that is your moral value which comes through your own feelings or through your desirable. On the other hand, principles are the statement of truth which comes through regular experimentations and practices which comes through the concept by the managers, and by the help of him he has developed those particular principles. So they are generally the truths or the guidelines which are being required for the business management. Next, principles are generally being technical in nature. Technical in nature, they are being applied in the organizations in the different fields, whereas the values are being ethical, which are being required in the day-to-day activities which we are performing in the social or in the personal way. Then values are formed through common principles which are being generally being used into day-to-day activities, whereas the principles are formed through research and development. These are being forming after regular experimentation, practices which are being done by the people. Then management principles and techniques of management. Now, what is the difference? We have already known about that management principles provides the guidelines. It tells us what is the management principles generally provides you the guidelines. It makes you stand in front of the door. How to walk inside that particular door, it will be told about by the help of techniques. So what is management principles? It are the guidelines. And what are the techniques? That is the method which are being required to solve those particular questions or that particular problems or that particular objectives, so that we are able to achieve organization goals. So what is management principles? They are the guidelines. And what is techniques? They are the methods or we can say the procedure through which we are able to achieve the organization goals. That is the techniques. Now coming to next, that is management principles and principles of pure science. Now this particular topic we have heard about it in the previous chapter, that pure science are just rigid in nature, that once it is being performed, the result used to come in the same way. On the other hand, management principles are not rigid in nature. Every time you do, you get a new result for it. So management principles are not rigid as the pure sciences, because in the management principles we are dealing with the human behavior, whereas in the pure sciences we are not dealing with the human behavior, we are dealing with the different techniques or different methods through which we are able to get those particular experimentation. For example, the law of gravitation. Every time you do the result, you do the experiment, you get the same result. Whereas in the management principles, for example, principle of motivation in management principle, for example, principle of motivation. Every time you apply on a different person, you will get a different result. So this is generally being a difference between the management principle and principle of pure science. Management principles are not valid universally. Why it is not universally? We said it that it is we are dealing with the human behavior. Every time we are dealing with the human behavior, it will give you a different result. For example, if I apply on one particular boy, it will give you a different result. If you apply on another boy, it will give you a different result. That's why management principles not valid universally, do not produce the same result every time. Now, nature of management principles. What are the natures? What are different natures of management principles which are helpful for the managers? First, that is universal applicability. Universal applicability means that it is applicable in every types of organization, whether we talk about a small organization, whether we talk about large organization, profitable organization, non-profitable organizations. In all types of organizations, these management principles are applicable. It only depends upon the applicability. For example, in a small organization where we are working with 100 managers, we do not require all the principles of management. But when we are working in a large organizations where we have 10,000 or thousands of workers are working, we need to apply all the principles of management. So it depends upon the applicability, and this applicability depends upon the nature of organization, its activity, and the scale of operation. So if we are working on a smaller scale, it has a different applicability, it has a different methods, its result might be different. But when we are talking about a larger scale, its result might be different as not being same as in the smaller scale. The second one is that is general guidelines. We are continuously telling you that these management principles are generally being the guidelines. They are not the solutions. It just make you stand on the path. It just gives you the hint. It will not tell you what will be the correct answer for it. So they are going to just be the guidelines to the actions which are going to be performed. For example, principle of motivation. It will tell you that if you try to motivate the workers, they might give you the larger output. How you are going to motivate, what you are going to do, it depends upon you. Might be that particular motivation will not perform with you with your company, but it might perform with the other company. So they are the general guidelines, but not the solution. Because the real business situations are very complex in this global world. When we are dealing with different types of companies and different types of countries where they have a different situations. So in this real business situations, they are very complex, and in these complex situations, we should be dynamic. And when it is being mean about dynamic, it means you have to change according to the requirements. So as a result, due to many factors, these principles are generally working as a guidelines, not a solution for the companies. Then the third, these principles are being formed by practice and experimentation. Now, practice and experimentation means whatever the principles are being formed, whether we talk about the scientific principles, whether we talk about the management principles, they all being formed by the experiment and the experience and the collective wisdom of the managers as well as the people which are being required to do those experiments. And every time the result might be different, but it has been performed so that we are able to achieve those particular experiment. For example, I have told about principle of motivation. We have performed that particular activity in an organization. Might be some other person have performed the activity in an organization. For example, he said that he will provide the incentives if the worker is able to achieve that, able to achieve more number of outputs than the required target, and if they are not able to achieve, that incentive will not be provided. Might be that experiment might have performed in a different way for one company and in a different way in another company. So these principles are being formed by practice and experimentation and experience which come through the different people they have got. Then the fourth nature is flexible. We have already talked about flexibility. They are not as a rigid prescription which is being written by the doctors that what is being said you have to work, but they are being modifiable as per the demand. I have told you for a small organization it might be different, and for a larger organization it might be different. So individual principles are different tools serving different purposes. It depends upon the managers how they are using those particular tools in different circumstances, whether in a small organization or whether in a large organization. Then the fifth nature is mainly behavioral. Now whatever the principles are being formed by the are being there in the management, they are generally being human oriented, because in management we are generally dealing with the human behavior. So it is the aim of influencing the behavior of human beings these managements are being formed, so that there should be a better understanding, the better relationship between the human and the resources which we are using, so that we are able to get the work effectively and efficiently, and we are able to achieve we are able to accomplish the organizational purposes or their goals. So that's why it is whatever the principles of management are formed, they are generally being the human behavioral, so that we are able to understand the human and we are able to achieve the organizational goals effectively and efficiently. Then the fifth nature is cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect means that every time we used to experiment, we used to apply, it has a different effect. So what do you mean by cause and effect? It indicates the implementing of a particular principle into a given situation. For example, I have told you principle of motivation. In principle of motivation, if I apply on the particular on the particular employees, that I will provide you the incentives if you will achieve those particular goals above that particular goals, then we are going to apply we are going to provide the incentive. Now that particular effect might be different for a different organization and might be different in a different, because we are dealing with the human behavior and we do not know whether it will be successful or not. So it indicates the consequences of implementing a particular principle to a given situation. It tells us whether a particular principle was applied in a particular situation and what would be its likely effect. And that too, it is being said that it is not accurate every time, might be different, may be difficult to establish a cause and effect relationship every time a same result we used to get it. So might be a cause may be different and effect might be different for the particular situation. So the nature of management principles have a cause and effect relationship. Now, next nature of management principle is contingent. Contingent means these principles depends upon a particular point of time. We have talked about it depends upon the situation to situation. For a current situation, in the current situation, if I say that we are not able to if we want to motivate the workers so that they are able to come and start working, what we used to say, that we are not going to give them a salary if we are not going to come back. So we are talking about remuneration. So in the current situation, how they are going to deal with it. Or if we say that we are going to provide you the incentives also, we are going to give you salary also if you will going to work from home in a better way, so that we get the same output what we are getting in the organization. So what will our workers will do? At home also they will work with the same intensity, with the same curiosity what they are working in the organization, in what they are working in the office. So that is called contingent. That particular principle, how you are applying those particular principles, it depends upon the situation and at a particular point of time. Next, that is significance. Now what does significance means? How these management principles are helpful to the managers that they are able to achieve the goals. The first one is providing managers with useful insight into reality. Useful insight means they are telling you about the futuristic. If this being applied, that might be useful in the real world situations. So for example, I said it before also, principle of motivation. For example, if you apply that particular principle, it might be helpful for obtaining the organizational goals. You might able to achieve a larger amount of output what is being required, more than it is being required, so that we are able to have a proper growth of the company. So principles of management helps the managers to provide you the insight into the reality. It helps us to adherence, which if you are applying those principles, you have to apply along with those principles. You have to apply your own knowledge, your ability, and understanding of the situation and circumstances which is being required. So which principle is being required according to a situation? It is being the manager's thoughts, it is their knowledge, their ability, so that they are able to apply it. And every time you are applying it, it is not being said that you are able to get it the correct result. Your mistakes only going to make you learn, and the next time when you are apply, you will try to make it in a better way. So, for example, principle of delegation, one of the principles of Taylor's principles, that routine decisions to subordinates. But for example, whenever the managers used to ask the subordinates for the routine decisions. In place of routine decisions, if they start asking the quality decisions, it might motivate those subordinates that their decisions are also being taken for the managerial work or managerial or organization's performances. Then they will be motivated and they try to give you a better decisions than what is being given as in the normal way. So that is one of the significance of management principle. Second one is optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. Now what does it mean? What does it mean? That this principle has to adopt systematic and logical approach. Now what particular system is being required and how to deal with those particular problems? This optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. Now how to deal with those particular situations and circumstances, these principles are being helpful for it. This will help the managers to take the decisions which are not being biased. It will be taken in a collective form, in a team form, and which will help in the growth of the company and will also motivate the employees of the company. So principles help to adopt the systematic and logical approach which limit the boundary of managerial decisions, which are not being biased in nature, and which help the company's growth and help us to excel the performance of the workers. Then the third one is management training, education and research. Now these principles generally provide you the basic groundwork. They gives you the groundwork which is helpful in the research and the development in the management studies. For example, I've told you that is principle of motivation. It gives you that motivation is being required for the workers. Now for example, in your organization your workers are not working in a proper way, so you can apply this particular principle either in the form of motivation, either in the monetary form or in the form of non-monetary form. Whatever the form you can apply it, that gives you the groundwork, and then whatever the result will come might be useful for you or not be useful. If it's not useful, you can apply another principle. But generally these principles gives you the groundwork, or it gives you the base on the basis of which you are able to perform your activity. So management training, education, research are being based on those particular principles, which is helpful for the research and the development work of the companies. Then the fourth, that is specific decisions. Now whatever the decisions are being taken on the basis of the principles, they are being specific in nature, which are being thoughtful and justifiable. They are timely, realistic and subject to measurement and education. So these principles are generally bias-free decisions. They are not being taken in just in a singular way. They are being taken in not thought of all the ways, which gives you the realistic and subjective measurement for evaluation. So these decisions are very much helpful for the growth of the company and for the growth of the managers too. Now coming to the next, that is meeting the changing environment requirements. Now in today's 20th century, every time 21st century, every time the things are being changing in a modified way, and how you will able to change according in this particular environment, this will be helpful by meeting the environment requirement. For example, for principles of management are modified as such as help managers to meet the changing requirements of the environment. In today's environment, every day something new is being brought up, and how you are able to change yourself, how you are able to adopt yourself in those particular environment, these principles used to help it. That's why principles are very flexible in nature, so that we are able to change according to the requirement, according to the need, according to the implementation, so that we are able to adopt those dynamic business environment. So these principles are generally being are not like a rigid prescription, they are being just like a flexible in nature. And the last and the foremost and the most important is that these principles helps to fulfill the social responsibilities. Now, what are the social, what, for example, when we are there in an organization, we are getting something from the society, so it has been our duty to fulfill their demands, so that we are able to get a better response from the society also. So these principles helps us to the establish the a better relationship through which we are able to serve to the society by providing them the better quality of products, better employment, better salaries, better uh, fulfilling their demands when it is being required through, so we are able to fulfill it. For example, principle of equity, that is one of the Taylor's principle, where everyone is being treated equal, whether it's fair and equal treatment to all the employees who are working in an organization. So that is the one of the example for your fulfilling the social responsibilities.